What's good, y'all? What's good? Oh, we back. We're back and we live in the fake. Welcome to the J Book Show. How y'all doing with Stomp City Sports? I got Coach Ryan out of Stafford High School in Houston. How you doing today, Coach Ryan?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed, man. How about yourself?
I'm blessed and never stressed, Coach Ryan. I'm glad to be speaking with you today. This is something I'm starting new, something I'm starting fresh. I'm glad to be actually starting this journey with you guys. Tell me, Coach Ryan, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell the folks about yourself and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm actually from Houston. I grew up in the A-Leaf area, and then we moved to Channelview when I was in, I believe, seventh or eighth grade. So that's where I graduated from. Played ball there. After that, I went to University of Texas, and then I've been coaching ever since. When I graduated, I got into coaching. That was back in 2012, and I've kind of been doing it ever since. Started off coaching at a small private school in Austin. Then I went back to my home school at Channelview. I was there for a couple years. Had the pleasure to coach Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, which is super amazing. Got to see that young man grow. His father was my head coach as well, so I've known Jalen
Okay.
since he was a little kid. And so I got to see him grow up and that type of thing. And then once his dad gave me a job on the staff, then I was there his sophomore and junior year. So it was amazing, man. And that's kind of where my career started. I've coached all over Texas. I coached in New Jersey for 3 years. I was at a private school called Mater Day. You may have heard of Mater Day.
My day.
Really big private school. I was there for 3 years. I was offensive coordinator for two of those three. Played in the state championship every year. We won one and lost two. So I was able to coach some good ball up there, but was ready to move home. So I came back, and I've been back in Texas since 2019. Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's great, man. I've been an OC. This is going on my second year here at Stafford, here in the Missouri City area of Houston. And so, man, I'm just super excited for the season. We start on Monday. So super pumped up, ready for that. But anytime I get an opportunity to be able to talk ball, talk about my program, talk about, what's going on, across the state or the country within sports and football, I always, want to be able to do that. So that's what led me here, and I'm excited, man.
Yes, bro. And I'll be honest, man. That's quite a background. That's quite a background, Coach Ryan. I wanted to ask you as well. Did you know of Jalen Hurts, our older brother, Coach
Yeah,
Hurts?
I do. Yep, I know Ariana very well. Yep.
Man, I seen him play. I think I was a freshman at Dobie High School.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I seen him play, and he put up about seven touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
game went to the wire, but
Yeah.
and that was like the best game I ever seen. That's what made it football click for me when I seen
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah,
I knew
man.
his little brother was gonna be good because I
Yeah.
seen him always around his dad and basically the facilities and things like that. So
Yep.
you always knew that somebody out of their family was gonna make it because it's just how their father was basically raised them.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, absolutely. That's a huge testament on Coach Hurt's part, man. He was, instrumental in me, becoming the man I am today. But just watching him as a father, being a coach's kid can be, difficult. You got to stand, you got to live up to, and I feel like both of those guys did that, man. It was funny you mentioned Avrion. I tell people this when we talk all the time, and I love Jalen to death. I think Jalen's top five quarterbacks in the NFL, and hopefully we'll get to a conversation about that later. But like just from tools and like just intangibles, like everyone was just different.
yes, bro.
He's just 3 inches shorter. You know what I mean? Like if
But
he was 6'2", 220, we might have two. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like it wasn't a throw on the field he couldn't make. He was really smart. He's a great offensive coordinator now. So he knows ball. He's really smart. It's just he didn't get the height. You know what I
yeah, he
mean?
didn't
And
get the
so
height. He wasn't built for that.
but Avrion was different, man.
Yes.
When I would come back home and watch that kid play, man, he was different. But same with Jalen, man. It's kind of one of those things like you didn't understand when it was going on, and then now that you see the future, it's kind of like, oh, it makes sense. So I remember a quick story before we get going. When I was in high school, Coach Hurst took the job before my senior year, and so Jalen was probably 7 years old. So you got strength and conditioning camp. You there all summer, and every day this 7-year-old kid, we're outside, we running, we doing all this agility stuff. This 7-year-old kid is in the drills with us, and I'm like, Okay,
It's
we
different.
go we go in the weight room, we're lifting, he's doing push-ups, chin-ups, like he's just around. And in my mind at the time, I'm like, why is he not at home? Why does he want to go do something else? You don't think about it, right? But you fast forward 10 years later, and he's committed to Alabama, he's done all these things, and then you continue to fast forward. It's like he knew what he needed to do, he knew what it took. And it's funny what you see like from him on TV, the humbleness, the calm demeanor, the even keel, just this great person. Like he's been that way since I've known him. So you always knew whatever he did, he was going to be special. I didn't know it would be what it is now because I
Super
mean
Bowl
that's kind of hard to
champion, yeah.
predict. Super Bowl MVP,
Yeah.
but it's been special to watch, man. I'm a huge fan. It's crazy to be a fan of a kid you watch grow up, but I'm a huge fan. You can learn a lot from him, and it's great. But again, it's all a testament to the old man, because he did a great job with those guys.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We got a pretty good, nice chat going on. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today? Make sure y'all like and subscribe. It's free. So, coach, let's get into it. I do expect you guys to have a really, really, really bounce back year. You guys finished 4-1 in the district last year,
Absolutely
and it's also 6-6. But you did make the playoffs, though, correct?
correct. Yes, sir.
You guys made the playoffs. I have here you guys lost to Kilgore in the first round. Am I correct?
Second round in the second round.
And that's second round. Second round. So you guys actually beat Wheatley in the first round. Then.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So that's a good win. That's a good win because Wheatley actually did pretty good in their season. So that's a
Yeah.
good win. So Kilgore is not a slouch. So
Yeah.
you guys did what you had to do, but it's bounce back season now. That's what it's actually come to. Now tell me, Justice, how do you guys plan to approach in-game adjustments with when defenses start keying basically on your tendencies?
So for us, man, it's for me, it's really about the feel of the game, right? I'm one of those guys that, I don't really, I don't have like this script and I'm gonna call plays straight down here. I use my play sheet kind of like a menu, right? When I'm somewhere, if I get stuck, I know where to go look and kind of figure out what to do in different situations. But in-game adjustments, man, it's just about communication. You communicate with the guys you have in the box, in between drives, being able to talk about it, kind of talk to my guys. I'm really big on that. So after every drive, you'll see if you ever come out to a game, man, we have right in front of the stands, there's a U of chairs. We got 11 chairs, and the guys that just come off the field, they go sit there immediately. You don't talk to your position coach. You don't talk to each other. We're going to debrief. I don't care if we went 3 and out. We scored a 1-play touchdown. We won a 15-play drive, whatever it is. We threw a pick. We're going to come. We're going to sit down. We're going to debrief. So we talk. I kind of talk to them about what they see, what I saw. Even if things went great, like, hey, yes, this was great, but what about this, right? And so that gives us the time to start those conversations. I'll talk with my coaches and like, hey, like, what kind of adjustments can we make? And, we just kind of move from there. A lot of times you have, coordinators who kind of get in these roles and they feel like it's just them, right? They don't really lean on their staff. I'm not like that, man. I lean on my staff a lot. I have a great group of guys on offense that, have, all these different tools that they can pour in. And we kind of do this as a collective. And so we just kind of talk through it. And, there's usually nothing we haven't seen, right? We study film, we watch film a lot. I try to run the program as close to, what you would see in college as I can. But we study, we show all types of different looks throughout the week to make sure that when we get to the game Friday, there's no surprises, right? And if for some reason there is, man, we just always make sure we have an answer because we're just kind of on top of things, and that's how we kind of roll with it. We communicated to our guys, and they've been pretty resilient. They're able to bounce back, when things are going well. We just kind of look to build off of that going into this season.
For sure, Coach Ryan. For sure, for sure. And with the new with the 2026 season coming up, sir, what basically what culture you guys are trying to build like inside the unit? Like, what are you trying to? But what are you guys are trying to prove this year?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a great question, man. Good and crazy that you brought that up. Culture is something we've been talking about in our program since the season ended, right? We talk about like, we talk to the guys and like, what is the culture here, right? Like, Like, how do you do things? You everywhere has a culture, right? Good, bad, right, wrong, and different. There's some type of culture. We just decided that we want to attack the little things, right? We're not doing the small things that you might not think is a big deal, but if you don't take pride in these small things, then in the bigger, in the bigger picture, you're gonna do the same thing. Who you are some of the time is who you are all the time, right? So that's something we preach. We talk about changing the culture, about showing up on time, the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we practice. Whether it's we're stretching feet behind the line, going full speed, finishing through the line, all these things we harped on because we know what it takes to be a great team. Like what separates a good from a great team are being disciplined and things like that, and having that type of focus is huge for us, right? So we preach that culture, right? That look, we have to be 10 times better than everyone else. We got to do the little things right. And so that's kind of what we've been preaching. Our guys have grown a lot. We started, I want to say, like 8 underclassmen last year on offense. So
Y'all got a
we
lot
got
of
all these.
returners coming back for sure.
Yeah. So we got a lot of guys coming back, right? And I talk to them all the time, and I'm like, look, last year the excuse was, oh, we're young, we're this, we're that. Like all of that's out the window now, right? It's like it's time to put your big boy pants on. Like some of you guys have been on varsity since you were a freshman. You played 12 games last year. You've been in the fire. You see, so all this, oh, I'm young, that stuff doesn't work anymore, right? So the way we develop them is with that culture, and like I think that we have a chance to be really special, man. We got some really good guys on both sides of the ball, and I think that we have a tough schedule starting off, and we're going to get thrown in the fire very early. But I think we're prepared, and we're going to be ready to put the city on notice for sure.
Nah, for sure, for sure. You guys actually start off next season with Hitchcock's and Silsby in the first 2 games. Well, the schedule is on Max Preps is all that.
Yeah, so
You
we
guys only played.
go. We start off with Hitchcock. After Hitchcock, we have Wall Trip, and then we go Belleville, Silsby, Hampshire, Fournette. So 4 of our first
Ooh,
5 opponents are currently ranked in the top 25 in the state.
yes,
And we also scrimmage Lamarck, who's also ranked in the top 10. So
yes.
we start off. We're gonna find out what we have very early. We do that with purpose. Like some people will try to play these lesser opponents, try to get some wins and feel good about yourself going into district. That's not what we want. We're not ducking no smoke from anybody, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to see. We got to find that litmus test, right? Like, how good are you really? You got to figure it out, right? Last year, the loss to Kilgore, kind of left a bad taste in our mouth. And so it's something that we're ready to go avenge. I mean, those guys played in the state championship, last year and lost in like I think 9-6 or something crazy like that. Like
Yeah, it was a
this
defensive
team only
game.
gave up. I think they only gave up 10 to 18 points in the entire playoffs. Like, and so we got to see a team on a different level, and it's like, look, we could compete there, but what are we going to do to get to that level? And so that's why we, have the schedule that we have. I love my head coach, Ken Savannah Sr., because, he's going to challenge us, right? Like he's not backing down from anybody. Anybody wants to play, will play. But it's just about our guys just growing and understanding that, hey, we can rise to the occasion, but you still got to go out and prove it.
Okay. We got a question in the chat. Who are y'all most concerned about game wise for those first 5 games?
To be honest, man, we don't really, I try not to overlook any opponent. We'll start off with Hitchcock. We're playing for Hitchcock, and then we'll go on after that. I don't think that there's anybody that jump out as far as like, oh, like you need to be worried about this one. Like I think these are all really good football teams, and we know that, and that's why they're on the schedule. We just got to play our game. I'll tell this to my guys all the time. Nobody beats us but us. When we go back and we watch film and we watch games, like we leave points on the field when we make mistakes. We're doing these different things. There wasn't really a lot of times where somebody just came out and they were flat out better than us. It's just about execution and how you are able to execute the game plan that we give. And so we decided that that's how we're going to move forward. Like I said, the first 5 that we play, they're all really good opponents. They all have their different strengths. You got Hitchcock, they're going to have a lot of athletes. They're going to be fast. They're going to play physical. Then we go to Belleville week 3. We got to go down there to the Pasture of Pain. They run a wing T offense. They're going to try to run at you. They're going to try to beat you up, win the game up front. And then, you leave from there. You got Sealsby and Hampshire Fournette, throw the ball around a lot, very athletic, very solid, teams from out, Southeast Texas. And they all bring something different. But for us, man, we just focus on us and what we're going to bring and what we can do, both offensively and defensively. And I think that, we're very confident going into camp. And I think we'll be ready week 1, August 28th at 7:00 down in Hitchcock, Texas. And then after that, we'll get ready for the next one.
Okay, for sure, for sure. What type of what leadership traits are you guys looking for in your offensive leaders this year?
For us, man, it's more than just being vocal. We're looking for guys who are gonna just lead by example, right? You're gonna go out there and do what you're supposed to do. You're gonna be on top of your game, and everybody else is just gonna it's gonna be so contagious that they kind of just follow in line. I think that's the biggest thing. You see a lot of kids, they want to ride around, they want to yell and scream and get back, and why you're not doing this. All that talking don't mean nothing if you don't have nothing to back up or go with it, right? Like we have in our character development, we have something called the 10 directives, and it's these 10 sayings and that they kind of have to learn. And one of them is, what you do speak so loud, no one hears what you're saying. And so I think that's huge, right? Like you can say all of these things and, push all these people, but like, what are you actually doing? Like I'm more concerned with the product than I am with what you're saying. And so that's kind of how that's what we look for, who's going to be, the leader that's going to finish hard through the sprints every time. You're not going to have to talk to him about the way he's dressed. He's not going to have earrings on. He's not going to be in trouble in the school. He's not going to be failing classes, trying to go talk to teachers at the last minute. Those are the qualities that we look for in a leader at Stafford High School.
Okay, that's cool. And who's the head coach there right now?
Ken Savannah Sr.
Ken Savannah Senior. Okay, I think
Yes, sir.
there a minute.
He's been there. Yeah, I want to say this is year. Let me see. What is this? 20? This might be year 12 as the head coach, but he's been there for a few years before that. So he was defensive coordinator when he first got there. Before that, he was a defensive coordinator at Straight Jesuit. But he's been at Stafford for about 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay. All right, man. All right, you guys sound like you guys gonna be ready for the next season, man. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna be on the sidelines cheering you guys on. Now let's move on to this conversation, man, because now we can move on to the grown man stuff.
Yeah.
So, man, it's a lot going on, bro. It's a lot of. I'm catching a lot of flack on my Instagram regarding this California versus Texas debate, right?
Right.
The comments are going nuts, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Look, listen. To me personally, Texas, and I'm gonna defend this till we every stream forever. Texas is definitely better than California ball, bro. It don't compare because the type of ball we play, and you are coming from a coach perspective. How do you feel about the Cali versus Texas saga? Like who has the edge and who has the best ball in your perspective? Coming from
man, I think that there's big differences in the two, right? I think that in California, your best schools are your St. John Bosco, your Mater Dei, your these schools where you're recruiting the best guys in the area, and even from further than that, right? In Texas, man, you just play with the guys that live in the neighborhood with you, right? Like I go to this school because of where I live. Right. It's not private school. It's not that big thing. Right. So first of all, you kind of look at it like that. Right. So that's the first part. The second part is, even with that, I don't think California compares. Right. I think that, you bring some of those guys down here and you play the North Shores, the Duncanvilles, the Sox of the world,
play them back to back and see what, like,
you see what I'm saying? Like that's when we see what kind of football team you have, right? So I don't think, in those situations, I think Texas comes out on top, right? But then let's even the playing field. Let me make a team with Duncanville's best players, DeSoto's best players, Waxahachie's best players, a couple kids from Houston and North Shore come to my school, some guys at Westfield come play for me, and now there's nobody beating us in California. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they do in Cali. You're going to get all these guys from all around, and there's nothing against it. I coached, like I said, I coached at Mater Dei in New Jersey. I coached at a private school, so there's definitely a lane for that. But when it comes down to just football, like Texas football is where it's at. Your Super Bowl MVPs, your top performers, there's always somebody from Texas up top. You talking Pat Mahomes, you're talking to Jalen Hurts of the world, you're talking to Smith and Jimbas of the world. Like, these guys are at the top of the game, and they all play high school football in Texas. There's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it being 105 degrees and you're at practice for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing like that.
And I don't think they can handle that. Like, I don't think
it's different.
They can handle that. I played in it. They can't handle that, bro.
It's really different, man. Like, when I was in New Jersey, man, it was really crazy. Like, when the season starts and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot, and it's like 87 degrees outside. I'm like, are you crazy? We kill for a day like this back home. Like, this is fall weather. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So it's just different, man. And it's no disrespect to Cali. Some great guys come from Cali, but the best players I think the best players of all time are from Texas, man. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles with that.
What about Florida?
I like Florida. I think Florida plays good ball, but nobody compares to Texas. Friday Night Lights, when you hear that, you don't think about anywhere but the state of Texas. You go to any place, all these different schools, everybody recruits Texas, right? If you're at Oregon, you recruit the state of Oregon, right? You're at Washington, you recruit the state of Washington. You're at New Mexico State, you recruit New Mexico. But all of the schools I named definitely recruit Texas. Everybody's coming to Texas. Like, you got teams like Arizona State, they got like the Texas to Arizona pipeline type deal. Like, that's just what it is, because the best talent is here. Everybody knows that. The best running back in the country just committed to University of Texas today, Landon Williams Callis. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, when I see that, I say, yeah, this different. With Texas want something, they go get it.
Like, yeah,
Like, and that surprised me too, because that could have went hand in hand. I thought it was gonna go to A&M, but he chose Texas. That was clever.
Man, that was very interesting. Situation. I don't know the kid personally, but obviously know of him. Huge fan. I think he's, in the last 10, maybe 15 years, he's the best running back I've seen in Texas, in the country. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like what he does it's insane, man. And I as a graduate of University of Texas, I'm a Longhorn. I was pulling for us to get him. I didn't know which way it would go. I thought that it could go any way. The only school I wanted him not to go to was A&M. So I figured, I was hoping that didn't happen. The other places though was just tough. You got U of H staying at home and kind of make that mark, and you stay home with my guy Keyshawn is playing quarterback there. Do you stay home and do that and kind of make your own lane, or do you go to SMU, who's on the rise, up and coming? You got a chance to go jump into that, or do you go to Texas, which I think is going to compete to win a national championship this year? Or do you go to Mizzou, who is a wild card in all of this, but there's a reason why he's connected to them? You know what I mean? So it was like hard. So in my heart, I was like, oh, he's going to go to Texas. I was just like, as long as it ain't the Aggies, then we're good. So Texas just got a lot better. Our running back room got a lot better. So hook them with that. Great job to those guys over there. Brandon Harris and his recruiting staff, man, they do an amazing job down there in Austin.
Yeah, man, you got to hate in the chat, because I don't do no Texas slander. So
yeah, man. That's my old offensive line coach, man. He come in and throw his little 2 cents in. He's an Alabama fan. He's from Dallas, Texas. He played ball at Texas College. I'm just confused about who he likes and who he roots for. But shout out to Porter though. That's my guy. I love you, big dog. But you're insane.
What's good, man? But honestly, this year, they got it. Like, I'll be honest. Like, that team is so stacked. They paid all over $1 billion for this team. Like, this team is stacked. Yeah. I don't see nobody beating this team. But the Alabama, you're through.
They done.
They through. They done.
They
I'll
done.
be honest with you, they done. And when I say they done, unless Keelan Russell coming there, where he from, Coach Ryan?
Texas.
Exactly. So that's what I be trying to tell.
And I love him. I love Keelan. Hey,
I love Keelan too.
He put me out in the fourth round 2 years ago. We played Duncanville in the fourth round. They beat us when I was in Westfield. Like, hey, love the kid to death. The kid is different, but that's not enough, bro. Bama's time is gone. The Nick Saban era is gone. Yeah, because back then, Bama was the only person paying people. You know what I mean? The playing field's even, and so that's why, in my opinion, that's why Nick Saban got out of there. And now we're seeing the proof is in the pudding. We got the money in Texas, though.
Nah,
as you can
Texas
see,
money long. That's because Texas wasn't doing it as big as Nick Saban was doing it. He was doing it, but the price got too steep for him.
Yeah. Now, well, I don't even think it's that. I think the playing field just got leveled. If you're the only one doing it, cool. But now everybody's doing it, and it's legal now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think at some point every school did whatever they did behind the scenes. But like Nick Saban and Bama I feel was really trying to push that. And then now they label the playing field, and he's like, whoa, wait a minute. You telling me now LSU can compete? Ole Miss is gonna go win 11 games? Oh no, I'm good. And hey, I ain't mad at him, bro. Go out on top, do your thing. But yeah, bro, the best guys are in Texas. Texas Longhorns will win the 2026-2027 national championship.
For sure, I call it too. I respect.
You heard it here.
I don't see them. I see Archie Manning gonna come out. He gonna win the Heisman, and then on top of that, next year when Landon gets there, they gonna have that boy Dia Bell, Roger Bell's son. And so it's gonna get even more crazier than that. So it's just gonna
Texas is stacked and loaded, bro.
Bro.
We're built for this. This is definitely an arena we're built for, and it's so funny, I don't know if you've seen the news where they had like the whole Texas and Texas Tech, beef back and forth. And I'm like, y'all really want to get in that match? Like, I love Tech. One of my really good friends is the GM at Tech. So this is no Tech slander over here. I think they're the best team in the Big 12. I think they're going to win the Big 12. But like, I'm just like, when I'm seeing it, I'm like, dang, they really like, this is a different level. Like we got away from the Big 12 for a reason. Like, and we're not like first year in the SEC, win the SEC championship. Like it's just different.
Yeah,
it's different in Austin, Texas, bro. What Sark is doing down there is crazy. We got the best running back coach in the country, Jabbar Jalouk. It's crazy out there, bro. Texas is poised to make a crazy run, and it's never been a better time to be a Longhorn since 2005.
And this what your boy Porter is another question. Say money at Texas, but can't beat Florida. Okay, look, check this out. Listen, that game last year, I don't count Archie Manning first 6 games last year. I definitely don't. I don't think he was really ready. I think the moments was too big for him. We shouldn't have played Ohio State the first game of the season. Because if you think about it, y'all, if we don't beat Ohio, we don't play Ohio State the first game of the season. We probably play them later. It's a different ball game. We're in the college playoff.
Yeah.
Because you beat them later in the season, but trying to beat overhyped. Well, they're not overhyped, but Jeremiah Smith with a full head steam, fresh, week 1. I mean, you asked for a loss. That game was really, really tough.
Yeah. So I think that, Arch, I'm not gonna say he wasn't ready. He just had to grow. He had to get a flow. He had to get a feel. Yeah, he played the year before, but he's playing against UTEP or something like that, to where like UTSA. But now you're going in these big games. You got to get a flow. You got to get a feel. And it's one thing like to call plays and stuff in practice. You're scripting all of this, right? Like none of this is off the head. None of this is in the moment. You're scripting all of these things, right? In a game, it's a completely different thing. You got to figure out that relationship with you and the guy, what's working for him, what's not. And I think as the season went on, I think Sark had to get better with calling plays for him, and he had to get settled in the moment. And you see, after that, we started playing extremely well. If you watch how we played versus Michigan in the bowl game, like that's what it's going to look like, right? We got to get Arch involved, use his legs. The kid can fly, man. Like the kid's flat out athletic. He can spin the ball. And I think that, we just had to find out how we're going to use him correctly. Now we got some weapons around him. You get Cam Coleman. You still got Ryan Wingo. You got my guy Nicholas Townsend. At tight end, you get Hollywood Smithers. In the backfield, and now it's a completely different ball game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I think you're going to see the best of Texas that we see this year, that we've seen in 20 years.
Nah, for sure. Cause honestly, man, I just feel excited about everything that's gonna happen with Texas football. They got another running back basically coming to the state. Them signing Landon today is like them signing Ricky Williams back in like 93, 94.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
This is basically the feel it's giving me. So I think this year he's gonna break that all time record.
Oh, for
It's
sure, it's
3,500.
gone.
It's 35. It's his. So once he breaks the all-time record, I'm gonna stand by my statement. I'm gonna retract my statement because I did say something kind of crazy, and maybe I did go back and look at it. I'm like, okay, all right. I said that he was probably the best running back since Adrian Peterson. And he'd probably be better. I did say that, and I was probably overstepping a little bit because I went back and I was like, okay, no, Adrian Peterson was definitely different. Yeah, every offer in the country, over 10,000 yards rushing, two-time state champ. So it was like a lot. It was like a lot. Okay, so if Landon wins the state champ, he has one state championship.
He does.
He has one. So if he breaks the record and also wins his senior state championship, you gotta give it to him. He's then you get crown him. Then
What's crazy? I just had this conversation with one of my friends earlier. One of my guys that coaches at Marshall, and we were talking about it. And for me, I said that, like I said, I think he's the best running back I've seen in the last 15 years, maybe 20. And like I told him, the only people I would take over him or even have a conversation if you're gonna give me Adrian Peterson or you're gonna give me Jonathan Gray.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? What Jay Gray did at Alito was insane. We all know about AP. And then a wild card, I might take if you're gonna give me Jamal Charles. But if you're giving me that, you better be somebody that watched him play and not just somebody that's just talking.
Yeah.
But I
Jamal
think that
Charles in
those
high school is different.
but I think that those three, and I think Landon's right in that same level with them. And I think that he needs to, be given that kind of credit. And he's gonna smash the record. And at that point, and we gotta say he's the best. And hey, it is what it is. I'll say it. He's the best I've seen. So
He said he think he's way better than Gray. Man, I seen Gray score like 9 touchdowns in one
man,
game.
Jonathan Gray was different.
Oh my god, Jonathan Gray. Hey, Trey Newton was nice too.
Trey Newton was pretty good. Yeah, Trey Newton was good. Yeah, he was. But I don't know, man. That's a different cat over there.
Yeah, he talked about he won't win the state championship this year. I don't know, man.
He's a Dallas guy, so he's gonna get to talking his Dallas and all that.
He's a sock fan.
Yeah, he went to Kimball. He used to coach his Sox, so he gonna bring it up. But he never won a state championship though. Let's throw that out there. They won when he left. But he's gonna be. And don't get me wrong. I think Sock is great. Hey, we'll see. Yeah, well, yeah. Now now it's DeSoto, and hey, we'll see. I don't think
DeSoto's really now.
Yeah, because they Division One now.
They Division One. Because
they 5A Division One.
So
they 5A Division
One. They went down.
DeSoto went down, and Randall went up.
Randall went to 6A?
No, Randall went to 5A Division One. They were 5A Division Two.
Okay. So they went.
And then DeSoto came down from 6A to 5A Division One.
Okay, so is who is Division Two? Sock is still Division Two?
Sock is Division Two, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's because they don't got that many resources.
Yeah. It's just about the kids. They ain't got that many kids there, man. But like I said, I love what they're doing over there though with Sock. Coach Todd's a great guy.
For sure.
I mean, he built a dynasty. You know what I mean? There's nothing bad you can say about them. I think they're great. They'll probably win Division Two, but in Division One, I'm always gonna rock with my Houston guys. I'm from Houston. I'll never root against Houston, man. So they're gonna probably be my pick to win that 5A Division One title. Hopefully, they get to see DeSoto. And we'll get to see. DeSoto has a really great running back as well, but I think Landon's just going to be the best guy that night.
Man, I'm actually picking Crawford to upset a lot of people this year.
Yeesh. Okay.
They're gonna upset. When I say they're gonna surprise a lot of people, coach, they're gonna surprise a lot of people. The kid Benjamin Fisher, Braylon Fisher,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, Braylon Fisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna have a monster season this year.
Yeah. Benji. Little
He's gonna
Benji.
wake up
Yeah.
a lot of
They
people this
were
year.
uh, they were in our district last year. Yeah, they're really good. Alvin Mosley is incredible. Um, he's very gifted guy there. I wish them all the best. In their journey this year, it's gonna be a great season, man.
For
They're in a really
sure.
tough district, so it's gonna be a battle
It's
every
gonna
week.
be a
So
great. It's gonna be a great one. They play Crawford. They actually scrimmage Randall
yeah, yeah,
the first game of the
yeah,
season. So
yeah, yeah.
it'll
It's
be a
gonna be
good one.
interesting. Yes, sir.
That's gonna be a
Yes,
good one,
sir.
man.
Yes,
Also,
sir.
what do you think about that? Did you watch the state championship game against North Shore? North
Yeah,
Shore against Duncanville.
I did, man. I did. I thought it was great. Thought it was a great win for the city. Coach Gaston, great guy, tremendous head coach. East Side legend. He played at North Shore, played at U of H after that. It's a great guy, and it was great to see him, be able to overcome some of the things. Losing a game, couple games. I think they lost a district game for the first time, and God knows how long. And everybody's calling for the man's head, and I'm like, just relax. Really tough, grinded out game. With two of the best teams, and that's kind of what it's been the last 8 years or so. Is Duncanville and North Shore, right? It's one of those two. Coach Sample's an amazing guy, great career. He's one of the greatest to ever do it in the state. They went to war. Defensive struggle. North Shore came out on top at the end, man. But those games like that, man, they can go either way. But like I said before, I always pull for the Texas guys. I'm a Houston guy, excuse me. I'm a Houston guy, and so I was pulling for him. But I think it was great, man. And we'll see what happens in that district, this year, how things kind of shake up. Will Summer Creek be able to beat them again? The Sea King find a way? Does the Tascasita get better somehow? Like, there's so many question marks, swimming around that district. But that's going to be exciting, man. Playing in that district, was amazing as a coach. Getting to see those top tier talents week by week. But it's going to be cool to watch. Absolutely.
Nah, for sure, man. I was actually at that game, man. That game was the most intense game,
Yeah.
nerve-wracking game I ever played in my life. But
Yeah.
I pray Duncanville quarterback plays a better game than what he played in that state championship game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I did hear. Granted, I did hear that the quarterback that was supposed to start that game actually got into some trouble with his parents. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they get it together. Duncanville come back, but I do think that North Shore um, will be back as well, especially on defense. Their defense has gotten a lot better.
Yes, sir.
Um, but I do want to thank you for your time, Coach Ryan. I ain't want to keep y'all all up all night. I do want
No, for sure.
like to do this again, especially during the season.
Absolutely.
You guys can always follow Coach Ryan on Instagram, and you want to shout out yourself. Do you have anything you want to tell everyone, the folks?
Yeah, man. Again, just thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Like I said, anytime I can get on and talk ball, it's great. Like I said, the season starting, man, on Monday, 5:30 in the morning. We're locked in, we're ready to go. But like I said, my guys are ready. I told some of my guys I would shout them out. So we have a few kids, that are doing some pretty big things with us. My class of 2028. I have, I believe, 3 kids with Division I offers. My quarterback just picked up his first Division I offer. Nate Ray, really great
Nate.
kid. Nate, he can sling the ball around a lot, man. I'm expecting to see a big jump from him, big improvement. But he's locked in. I think that getting that offer made him hungry. He sees that, hey, this is kind of the standard, and let's see how we can kind of exceed past that. He's poised to have a big year. I have a receiver, Aiden Seals, who I think, when it's all said and done, should be a 5-star. Kid runs 4.31 laser. He has 15, I believe, Division One offers, like 8 P4 offers. He just picked up Texas Tech. He just picked up Oklahoma. He just picked up Vanderbilt. This kid he's special. He's one of those, generational talents. And sky's the limit for him. We also have a corner, Denham Steed. He's also a class of 2028. He has about 9, Division One offers, U of H, Memphis, so different places like that. Man, this kid can flat out play. He's one of those guys that just understands the game and understands the position. He plays corner, technically sound, man. He shuts down one side of the field. It's great to have a guy like that. He's also a utility guy. He can come play offense. He'll play some slot for me. Just a kind of a team first guy. It's really great. We have a kid who I think, man, has a chance to be the most impactful player on our team this year. A kid named Corey Richardson. He's going to play linebacker for us, and he's also going to play some tight end for us, man. But this kid can flat out go. He played running back last year, and we kind of made some changes with him, and he's worked his behind off in the off season. The kid's probably 6 foot 190. But was a 20-foot, almost 21-foot long jumper for me. He made it to regionals, in the long jump. So he kind of tells you what type of athlete this kid is, man. But this kid's going to be poised, to have a big year. And like I said, we have a lot of pieces, man. We got a few old linemen that can play. A kid named Jacoby Butler was left tackle for us. He plays some DN, and I think can be huge. I'm nothing without those guys. If I don't have those guys to go out and represent me, then we don't have a job. And so anytime I get a chance to talk, I'm always gonna talk about those guys. We got a young kid, before I forget, I know he's gonna get pissed off at me, named Jeremiah McWilliams. He was a freshman last year. He won freshman newcomer of the year, plays corner as well. And he's a great kid, man. He's gonna do some big things. This kid he's special. He has a lot of growing up to do, but like the kid is truly special. We're blessed to have a kid like that on our team. But like I said, man, we're ready to make this run. We see the chatter, we see all the talking and all of that. And for us, man, it's just about work. We don't really get involved in any of it. Whether you think we're going to win 5 games, 10 games, 15 games, like it doesn't matter to us. We're going to go be us. Our defense is going to play hard, physical. They're going to play fast. They're going to fly around the ball. They're going to make it really difficult. And we're going to try to score 50 points a night. And that's just how it is. Like I said, it starts off August 28th at 7 p.m. down in Hitchcock. We got the Bulldogs first. We'll take care of business there, and then we'll see where the chips fall after that. So, again, Coach J. Boog, I appreciate you having me on here. Shout out Spartan Nation. I love you guys, and it's time to roll.
For sure. Thank you, guys. Good night. I want you guys to have a wonderful day. Stop City Sports out.